You must be a grown-up to watch this video. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome back. It is good to be back. I feel like I have never done this before. It just feels so strange. I am completely 100% out of practice. Most of you guys know that I have been on a little vacation with my Snuggly, and this is my first day back in over a week. So thanks for joining me. Tonight we are talking about the murder of Madeline Soto. We're going to be talking quite a bit about the person who is charged in her murder, Stefan Sterns. But before we really get into that, let me just show you something real quick. After this live stream, I'm going to be doing a members only live stream. That's just kind of a little discussion about behind the scenes at CrimeCon UK, kind of what Kimberly and I did, plus our visit to Portugal and briefly Spain. We drove up into Castilla and Leon. But we're going to be doing that directly after this here live stream right here. And then tomorrow, we are going to be catching up on the case of Lily and Jack Sullivan, who have been missing, 5 weeks now? 6 weeks now? It's just, yeah. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. I hope you will join me. Okay, so quick little update. Madeline Soto was 13 years old. She had just had her 13th birthday on Sunday. And then on Monday, she was expected at school. Her mother's on-again, off-again boyfriend, Mr. Stefan Sterns, this guy right here, said that he took her to school. This is her mom, Jennifer Soto, right here. But it turned out he didn't take her to school. Police say that he had already killed her, and he drove her body around before he disrespectfully, unlovingly, unkindly, and I don't know how many other words I can use to describe it, dumped her body. And I use the word dump on purpose because that's what it was. Dumped her body in a field near like a hedge of bamboo. And so at 13 years old, Madeline Soto lost her life. But we found out through the investigation, police say, that Mr. Soto had been essaying this young girl from about the time she was 8 years old. So I have to say, I don't have a lot of sympathy for this guy. Though, you guys also know that I want there to be fidelity in the law. I want there to be justice in the law. I want investigators and prosecutors and the judge and members of the jury all to take this job very, very seriously so that when he's convicted, it will not be overturned on appeal. That's how I feel about that. So what has happened in my absence, I'm so grateful for the media relations person over there at the Ninth Circuit Court there in the state of Florida. When I came home, I asked if there had been anything sent. Actually, what's funny is I had sent an email saying, hey, are there any updates on this? And while I was gone, it came in. It's pretty awesome. So we're going to be going over some of these things for the purpose of understanding Mr. Sterns a little bit. Here on the channel, we want to learn, right? We don't want to just be purveyors of horrific criminal stories. We want to learn stuff here. And as much as it kind of grosses me out, totally grosses me out, I still want to learn something here. So what we're going to be going over today, if you will join me over on Acrobat, we're going to be going over part of this 102-page document that includes correspondence that Mr. Sterns has had with his mom and dad. I'll try to center myself here. Much of it we have already read. The fresh food and books, though, is new to me, at least in my memory. And I want to go through several pages of this just to, again, understand what Mr. Sterns is all about. This chain of text messages or emails, I guess is the better way to say it. It's through a system where people can communicate with people who are incarcerated. It started on, what is this, July 26th of last year. So I think what's important to recognize is that since that time, I think I'm not quite certain on the timeline here, but pretty confident. Since that time, Stefan Sterns' parents, there's an old picture of them, Chris and Deb Sterns, have come out and have said publicly that they believe that Stefan did the things that he is accused of. He is accused of Madeline's murder and 60 counts of, they call it battery, but the essay of Miss Maddie. So we probably should try to give them the benefit of the doubt on this a little bit, because at this point, I don't think they really knew the extent of the case against their son. Okay, starting at Fresh Food and Books, July 26, 2024, 4:47 p.m. From Chris Sterns, and the account is says Chris Sterns, but they come from both Chris and Deb, okay? Be on the lookout for double cheeseburger, soda pop, tater tots, and cookies. I believe Thursday. Stuff to order are cheeseburgers, double and triple, boneless wings, cheesesteak with boneless wings, triple bacon cheeseburger, buffalo chicken sandwich, pizza or combo with pizza and calzone. Mix up on the order of books, reorder, and sending will let you know when they're due to arrive. This actually shocked me. I feel like I'm a person who's pretty well informed on the prison system. I had no idea that you could order stuff like this, and it actually kind of sickens me, because it feels like it is a way for the prison system to earn money. That's the way it feels like to me. But anyway, okay, he responds same day, a couple hours later. Hey, his got the tablet. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for books soon, hopefully. Wow, okay, the food sounds good and I will look forward to it. The cheesesteak and wings sounds interesting. So does the pizza calzone combo. I will look forward to a double cheeseburger and tots. Now Thursday can't get here fast enough. That's going to keep me in anticipation all week. Yes, it was nice to feel the wind on my face and the sun on my skin after nearly 5 months without it. But the novelty wore off when I became the object of everyone's interest. So unless they can let me go out when the others are not out there, I'm not sure I think it's worth it. I think what he's talking about here is that the accusations against him, the charges, are the murder and essay of a child. That doesn't go over well in prison, and I am not a fan of prison justice, but there is the reality that doesn't go over well in prison. It appears that he did have some time outdoors, but he was in fear of the rest of the people, the rest of the prisoners. Let's see, still trying to stay active in my cell, push-ups, squats. I'm even using some stacks of legal documents to do some arm curls, bundling them up in my towel to lift them together. With over 2,000 pages, it's a good weight for the purpose. Remember that Mr. Sterns has access to his file, to the discovery. I don't think that he'll have access to any of the gross things in the discovery, things that were found on his computer, but he does have access to the reports and all that stuff. I'm going in cycles of hopefulness and depression. I just want to come home, and I want to crawl into a hole and disappear from the world and never come out again at this point. I'm trying to keep my mind occupied, but it is difficult sometimes, and my mind gets to racing. How are you both? How are the pups? Have they started their new food yet? I'm curious what you guys think of this. Be sure to put GF in your comments. We're going to get to your comments. I'm just going to read a few of these, and then we'll get your comments. This looks like it comes from Mom. Let me see. Yep. Okay, so 30 minutes later. Hey, Steph. Books ordered and should arrive intermittently. The pups are now velociraptors. She talks a lot about the pups. She does mention the prices of these special meals is really high. They should be Wagyu beef burgers for the price. Are they monitoring your blood pressure, just giving you the pills without knowing how it is working for you? Asking about Jolly Rancher candies, talks about the pups, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Same night, 15 minutes later, from Stefan. Hey, which book did you order a copy of for yourself? If you don't mind giving away the surprise on that one. Yes, I imagine these meals would not be cheap. Jail and prison is apparently a big business, and the laws getting passed all the time keep business booming. That is a sad reality, I think. I've heard that there are quite a few lawmakers and politicians who even have investments in the commissary company. They don't monitor my blood pressure much anymore. It seemed to have gotten under control and was steadily good. So now I just get my meds in the usual 10 milligrams per day. I'm sure we get storms here, but can't always tell it's raining unless the thunder is loud enough. Glad you seem to have more energy. And the pups, blah, blah, blah. What is that? 10 minutes later, Breakthrough. This is from Mom. I think it is a book a lot like the movie Day of the Dolphin. Blah, blah, blah. People are just so bored. Let's see. Oh, yeah. People are just so bored they have nothing better to do than scan daily for any new updates. We refuse to talk to them, so they make stuff up. Some is comical. Some, you wonder where their minds are, certainly not in a place of light. They're in dark shadows in their minds to even think such things. I feel sorry for them and pray for them to find peace in their own lives and stay out of ours. Yep. Right. That's the part of that one she's talking about us there, guys. Okay, so Stefan, a few minutes later, asked about the sour fruit candy. I wonder about Sailor 2. Hope he's okay. I miss him. Hope he's okay with blank. I know he's good at sensing when she needs love and lavishes her with cuddles, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Little, yeah. Talking a little bit about books and dinner. Couple more here. Wanted to... they highlighted cook in the message. That's funny. Talking more about food. There was one other that I wanted to skim down to. Growing a beard. Let's see. Oh, by the way, guys, I know that I'm kind of skimming over these really fast, but if you go to my Patreon page, let me see if I can. Give me just a second. Oh man, just a second. I want to show you. Well, I guess I don't have to show you, but over on Patreon, I've uploaded all these files in case you guys want to take a look at it. Okay. I know I'm scanning, talking about commissary, clippers, so on and so forth. There was a... Okay. This one is from Mom, I believe. Yep. This is the same night. It's 9:29 p.m. now. What kind of lunacy is that? Not even a freaking pillow? It's a jail, not Helga's house of pain. Then again, I suppose not supposed to be a place most people would want to visit for any length of time. The 2 books out of 4 are by Michael Grumley. Leap and Catalyst are on their way. Breakthrough is number 1. Leap is number 2. Catalyst number 3. Blah, blah, blah. I can't even imagine the boredom. You are living 24/7. I never would have imagined this scenario with you. It is just heartbreaking for us that you put yourself in this situation. That, for me, feels like she's starting to come around. She's like, understands. It's not all Jen's fault, though I do believe that Jen has some culpability. I won't chastise you. You're doing that enough yourself. Stay in prayer, read your Bible, and understand that no matter the crime, you can and will be forgiven by God if and only if you ask for forgiveness and repent. I know you are sorry. We are all sorry and appalled this happened. I know it causes you so much anguish too. Just know we are here for you no matter what. You are still our child, and I don't care what other people think at this point. They really don't know anything about you except what the liars and blowhards put out on the media and social networks. It is sad and sickening. The things they find to be interesting, gotta let them go. I'm not sure which one I am, a liar or a blowhard. Let's see. I don't think he says anything here. Okay. All right, are we getting to the next? No, it's still the same day. Rarely sleep. Okay, next day, 2:11 p.m. Let's see. There was... Well, you know what? Let's just see what you guys are talking about over here, okay? Let's bring Maddie's face up. We haven't seen Maddie's face much. Let's go over to here. Okay, getting it refreshed. I'm just going to scroll up. Goodness. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get to all of it, but here we go. RR says he hated those dogs, too noisy, so he says that, and why he moved out. I do remember that being one of the reasons why he said he told police that he moved out. The dogs were so noisy. Make Messing 714. Yeah, I don't wish that upon Mr. Sterns. Anna Grigori, Gavin notes, I think that means sad reality. No, it's not a sad reality if you go to jail or prison. Well, you're there to pay, okay? Oh, here we go. Amy McCammon says he is so greedy he asks about the puppies and his dad's work so he can feel out the money situation. The rest of his time is begging and poor him. Yeah. Beck says, Gavin, I just want justice for Maddie and for his mom and dad to stop enabling him. Enough is enough. I do wonder about, I mean, it does feel like Stefan Sterns was enabled. I try really hard not to put any blame on Deb and Chris. I used to say that they were co-doctors Frankenstein, and now their monster is loose. And I just don't know that that is fair or true anymore. So I apologize and stop saying that. I do wonder how I would behave if one of my children were in prison. And I would hope that I would still continue to express affection and love for my child, but being real about what he did. Because in the beginning, it was all Jen's fault, Jen's fault, Jen's fault, Jen's fault. They kind of changed that later. Yeah, Cassie, it is good to know they're praying for us YouTubers. It's good stuff. Autumn says, did that last sentence say, I wonder where Sailor is? Hope he's with Maddie and helping her cope? Well, who is Sailor? Hold on, did I skip over something important? Let me look. No, I think Sailor is a dog. And I think he's saying Jen. Because that's too short for Maddie right there, that redaction. Yeah, I think that she's saying Jen. All right, let's go back to comments. Deb Courtwright says, pathetic. Remind mother figure umbilical cord was detached after birth. Again, I don't fault her for wanting to communicate with her son. I mean, he is her son, and I just don't think that you can stop loving your son. It'd be very difficult. Sherry says hello from Nova Scotia and good evening. Hello, Sherry. We're going to be returning to Nova Scotia, not figuratively, in the sense that we are covering Jack and Lily's case tomorrow. Do I know where Jen is now? I always say that she disappeared faster than a Twinkie at a Weight Watchers meeting. That's funny. I do not know where Jen is now. I understand that she was voluntarily committed somewhere, but I don't know where she is now. On 726, read the last part, Gavin. Okay, let's go back over there. Okay. I wonder about Sailor 2. I really hope he's okay. I miss him and I hope he is still with. I think that's Jen. I know he is good at sensing when she needs love and lavishes her with cuddles and kisses all over her face. I know he misses his other humans, but if he has her and she has him, I know that at least he is at least in a good place where he is loved and needed. So I hope he is with her. Yes, some people can't resist sticking their nose into affairs that have nothing to do with them. There are people in the world that just love minding everyone else's business and make themselves feel better and more important by doing so. It's sad. Okay, I'm going to take umbrage with the Sterns family here. We're not sticking our nose in other people's business where we have no concern. There's a 13-year-old little girl who was essayed for 5 years, who was then murdered. And you, sir, were charged with her murder. And I've been looking at the case file. Seems like a pretty darn good case against you. It's in the public interest that you be tried for these heinous acts. That's not sticking our nose where it doesn't belong. Come on. And Autumn, I think they're talking about Sailor with Jen. I really do. But if you guys want to go over to Patreon for my patrons, you can grab that. Meredith says she missed the lives. Well, I'm glad to be back. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that trip here in about half an hour. So if you're a member, please join me. It's just going to be a few of us, I think, but we're going to be talking a little bit about what we did. Lexi says, Gavin, did you see the poem he wrote to Maddie that the officer found? I did. Yes, it was basically, to me, it was a confession. Couple more here. Oops, just refreshed. Holy cow. Mooney, 15 months? Mooney's one of our OGs, everybody. She's the best. The best. Cher's only here for baby Gavin. Don't ever get rid of it. Susan Lewis, Gavin put himself in this situation? I think mom means the situation is the relationship with Jen, not that he did anything wrong. I wonder if that's what she meant. Because I looked at it both ways. I kind of considered it both ways. I mean, it's possible that she's like, if you never did that with Jen, then this never would have happened. But I think that Stefan Sterns was such a good predator that it's impossible that Maddie is his first victim. To me, the probability is very low that Maddie is his first victim. Pretty crazy. I'm glad I'm back too. Thank you very much. Deb says, and let's not forget all the evidence he left on his phone. Indeed. I do try to be a gentleman. Thank you for noticing. I do my best. Sometimes I don't do so well. One Man's Trash says Sailor is the white dog, Maddie and Jen's dog. The dog that he said he took out to go to the bathroom in the morning. Yeah. I believe, Sailor is Jen's dog. I think that is correct. you guys. Kristen Piston here for live. Glad you are. Oop, it refreshed one more time. Yeah, I think it says Jen. I definitely do. Amy says taxpayers are paying for him, so it's our interest, Deb. Oh, well, that's a good point. That is a very good point. Yes. All right, let's... One man's trash. Has anyone else come forward as a victim of his? Not to my knowledge. I haven't heard any other victims come forward. If there are victims that have come forward, we will only know if charges are filed. Marco says, Gavin, I have a question. Well, just put GF in your comment with your question, and that will help me find it, Marco. And thank you very much. Okay, let's go back over here, shall we? Let's see if there are a couple of other things that we want to dig out of this. Going into the 27th, got to go back to where I was. Let's see. Yeah, he was on self-harm watch for a long time. There was that. We knew about that. I'm sure they were right. You were right. And there's some caring people in there, decent and good. I'm glad you're getting things back. Every step forward is a good step. I know the time's up for tonight. This weekend is bath and shave for the pups. Okay. I know that. Talk about books. Just kind of scanning through this here real quick. Yeah, nothing there. Tablet, sandwiches, cookies, lots of books. Okay. Josh said your Facebook page is still up and running. Give one of your attorneys the sign-in and password so we can take it down. Can't tell us on the phone or here on the iPad. Everyone and their uncle apparently is just dying to devour every morsel of malicious lies that are being floated by the YouTube trolls. Looking for clickbait and a monetary reward. Sad people with no job sitting in front of their computer playing at being cops. Disgusting. I mean, I'm not playing at being cops. I'm a reporter. I report. That's what I do. It's hard not to reply to them, but that would just let them gloat. I will say, by the way, that there was somebody that reached out to me who purportedly was a friend of or an acquaintance or somehow knew Deborah Stearns and said that she might want to talk to me, and I did reach out. I heard nothing back, which I didn't press it any further than that. We still pray for you and love you and support you regardless. We are not naive, though. And you've done some horrible things, Stefan. Things I never in a million years would think my child would be capable of. And that is a hard pill to swallow. I want to look in your eyes and ask you why and actually get the truth. I'm sure that won't happen. Again, no shielding others. No shielding others. She's still saying at this point, others are responsible. Take care of yourself first and foremost. I will say it is pretty disgusting that all this stuff is being dumped out to YouTube wannabes. How can they get a decent jury pool for your trial? They have got this thing viral all over the country and in the UK. More about the UK here in about half an hour, guys. Maybe more. Why? It escapes me why people who have no skin in the game feel the need to make themselves part of it. Where'd that just go? There we go. They have to be some kind of sick, twisted people with no other joy in their lives. It is sad, really, but also aggravating because the truth is nowhere in any of those posts. I think the truth is throughout many of the posts. I mean, most of the stuff that we have reported on has been police reports, FDLE reports, supplements, the lawsuit, the criminal complaint, the uh, interrogations, the conversations, the body-worn camera. I don't think that we're telling lies. I really don't. They can say anything and think that they are shielded because they give a disclaimer at the beginning that these are their thoughts and feelings about things, along with their psycho-devoted followers of truth. What a joke. Well, I mean, in reality, Mrs. Sterns, we do get to share our opinion, and it's protected. The issue that you would have is against somebody who would purposefully defame you and say things that they know are not true, stating them as fact, and then actually harming you, which I don't think has happened. If it has happened, I encourage you to seek legal counsel and seek recourse. What a joke. Well, enough again. More time goes by, the pups, blah, 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 blah. Lots of blah, blah, blah. Okay. A little bit more here. Asking for a tablet. More, please give me more good food. The pizza calzone, the cheesesteak and wings, the buffalo chicken sandwich. Honestly, it all sounded pretty good, but those three are the top of my list for me. The commissary account could use some topping up, too, if possible. Money, please. He's John Ralphio. Oh my goodness, he's John Ralphio Saperstein. It's so funny. I finally got a bag of the sour fruit balls candy, and it's not as good as I'd hoped. The root beer and butterscotch candies are better in my opinion, but I'm wondering if other out-of-stock items might finally be available too. I guess I'll find out soon, but I want to get some more mackerel and hot peanuts and, of course, coffee. Guys, the whole like canned fish? No, thank you. I always order more when I can to make sure I don't run out anytime soon. Oh my goodness, sardines and hot tomato sauce. My palate does not agree with the palate of Stefan Sterns. I'm sorry. I'm not a seafood guy. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Let me just read this aloud. Yes, they were aggravating for a long time with the barking, but honestly, something finally clicked back in 2022 for me, and I stopped being easily aggravated and suddenly gained an immense reservoir of patience. I wonder if that means that he had an outlet of some sort back in 2022. Traffic stopped bothering me. Everything just stopped bothering me finally, and conversely, Jen became the angry and irritable one who raged at traffic and snapped at everyone all the time. I think that says Jen. So when I moved back in with you most recently, none of that stuff seemed to really bother me anymore like it used to. This change seemed to coincide with the start of my new job back then. I don't know, a switch got flipped and I was happier again. That's interesting. I wonder what was going on in 2022, maybe besides the job. That's interesting. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's interesting. Let's see. You're dangerously thin for your height and build. Keep working on your physical and mental health. New Crichton book will roll out in November. I've pre-ordered it for you. Man, she is. And then that's the end of those conversations. And I know I kind of yada yada past a lot of that stuff. It's not as interesting to me. But the whole conversation about in 2022, something happened. Something flipped. And I got more patient. Kind of maybe it feels like he found a new outlet for his frustration. I don't know. Mrs. Sterns, that is just my opinion. I am not a psychotherapist, psychiatrist, psychologist. I'm just curious. And that's just the way I am. Let's bring up Maddie again. Maddie girl. See what you guys are saying over here. Get it refreshed. Scrolly. Okay. Brenda says he talks a lot about the weight he has lost, eating all the fish and sardines, and he's going to start gaining some with all the calzones and pizza and wings and stuff. Why doesn't he just confess and make this a little less painful for everyone? Because the incentives don't align for him to do that. That is the way the human animal is built, Kristen Piston. The human animal is built to survive, and we are built to respond to incentives, and whether positive or negative, sometimes we call that incentives or disincentives. And this is just like according to Gavin Fish. I'm not an expert on this, but the incentives don't align for him to just confess, because if he does that, it's the DP. And if he fights it, maybe he can negotiate himself a little bit better life for the rest of his life. And at this point, he does not care about Madeline. She's already dead. And that's the sad truth of it. It's tragic. And I hate to say things so coarsely, but I think that's the reality. And what a great question and / comment. I really appreciate that. Marco Benavides, Gavin, I just noticed this recently reviewing information. So it's the fact that Maddie had a makeshift bedroom on the first floor with a bed even. So why was there a need to send her to room 4? Yeah, that is the question. That is the $64,000 question for those of you who are old enough to remember. What was that called? The $64,000 pyramid? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it does not make sense. It does not make sense to send your daughter to sleep with your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend at that point. Makes no sense. That's why so many of us just shake our head at Jennifer Soto. Like, what? Huh? What? Like, how? How could you do that? It's shocking to think that she did that. Great comment. Let's see. We got a super chat from Judith. Thank you very much, Judith. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Yeah, and I honestly wear it as a badge of honor right now that I'm part of the YouTube trolls. Mott's Mummy says, Gavin, Chris Watts pleaded guilty to avoid the DP. Maybe Stefan will too. Yeah, I think what he has to do is take it far enough so that he can negotiate. I really do. Good point, Mott's Mummy. Mott's Mummy. Kristen Piston, question, what are the rules around lie detector tests and why has one not been done in Sterns yet? So it depends state to state. I do not know in the state of Florida if polygraphs are admissible in court. I am a believer in polygraphs. My uncle, who I loved very, very much, my dad's oldest brother, after, well, I can't remember how many decades he served in the FBI, but he was a polygraph specialist near the end of his career with the FBI. And then even after his retirement, he consulted with the FBI as a polygrapher. So I believe in it. I just don't know. It varies state to state. He can't be made to take a polygraph test. He can't be made to do it because it would violate his rights that are guaranteed under the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 14th Amendments, right? So he could volunteer for it, but if I were Sterns, I would not volunteer for such a thing. Okay, a couple more things. Heck Jess, always good for a good comment. Heck Jess says, it's funny how they think everyone focused on this case has no job when their son couldn't keep a job ever. Maybe we feel responsible as a community to make sure Maddie gets justice, unlike them. Yeah, and I mean, I definitely feel that, and I think many of you feel that. I'm sure Jess feels that. I also feel that part of the punishment in crime has to do with creating a disincentive for so many others to not do these kinds of things, to go, oh crap, if I did this, I might get caught and this might happen. So I think by talking about this a lot, I think it helps. I think it would be Stefan Sterns wannabes might think twice about it. That's what I think. I'm having a hard time thinking the word. Mooney gifted a bunch of memberships. Mooney, you're the best. Autumn gifted a bunch of memberships. Autumn, you are the best. What do we have up here? Judith, welcome. Got some new members, guys. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, and stick around for the members only live stream after this. You guys are awesome. Cassie says, Gavin, I don't think you're at the top of their list of YouTube offenders. You're pretty fair in my opinion. Well, thank you. I do my best, but I also, I share my opinion on this sort of stuff. I try really hard not to be a over speculator, but Lexi, what smells worse? Him not taking the showers of that fish? Yeah, it's pretty gross. Amy McCammon, YouTubers are evil, says Deb to her evil son, shaking my head. Heck Jest, is the members only stream available for Patreon members? Heck Jess, I haven't figured that out yet, how to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the live stream for YouTube members, and then I'm going to post it to Patreon. So yeah, the Patreon members aren't going to get it live because I can't figure out how to do that yet. And actually, I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much, because in the month of May, we had a record month as far as viewers, and that also meant a record month as far as revenue. And what that is allowing me to do is to buy new equipment. I'm reinvesting it back into the channel. I'm working on a 2018 Mac Mini right now, and my plan is to get a 2025, a brand new M4 Mac Mini loaded to the gills, and some other things as well. So hopefully what I will be able to do soon is live stream to two places at the same time without overwhelming my system. You guys probably can't hear it, but the cooling fans on my computer right now are going crazy. That's why I bought this microphone, actually, is because the fans were so loud. But anyway, Jess, I think that once I'm able to buy the new equipment, I will be able to do that, stream both to Patreon and YouTube at the same time. But for now, I will live stream for the YouTube members, and then I will upload it to Patreon. Okay? All right, let's bring Maddie back on. Yeah, I don't know who the woman was who was reaching out to him. I don't know. COD, though, that's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Hugging demons. Gotta hug them demons. Them demons need hugs. Maybe they would be less demonic if they just felt the warmth and love of a big squeeze. All right. Deb Stearns is cranking up the puppy mill again to fund Satan Stearns' stay at summer camp. That's funny. Oh man, it just refreshed. Got a lot. Did you see the clip of Jumpsuit Pablo inmate's threat? Stefan Sterns. Yeah, but I wasn't sure that it was real, so I didn't report on it. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Rose Rain says, Gavin, do you think this will be one of those cases where he gets out on good behavior, or will he be there for life? Yeah, I think that, well, in Florida, first of all, they actually do finish off the inmates on death row. They do that. I think that it's highly likely that he does get the DP, and if he negotiates, it depends on where the prosecutor's position is. I mean, it seems like they've got a strong case. They may not negotiate at all. But I think if he pleads guilty to, or he gets convicted of what he's been charged with, the murder plus maybe a few of the 60 counts against him, it's life in prison forever. He will never get out. Net Detective, why do they even do polygraphs? Usually they are voluntary. Like, for example, in the case of, let's see if I can bring it up here. See if it's here. In this case, Daniel Martel, he has volunteered for it. And it can be used to narrow the search, right? To narrow the case a little bit. So there are good reasons to do polygraph tests, I think. Okay, a couple more. Judith, thank you, Mr. Gavin. Just Gavin, please, for everything you do for victims. Well, thank you. Texas Surfer says, you and Grizzly have the best chats. Thank you. You know why we have the best chats? Because we have the best mods. And let me take this opportunity to bring you over to my website. Here's my website, gavinfish.com. There's always a link down below. If you click on support me, scroll down. These are all the different ways that you can financially support me, and I deeply appreciate. It's just so surprising and fun when a little notification comes in where somebody is taking care of me this way. You guys are so awesome. But I want you to scroll past me all the way down to the bottom. Buy Autumn a coffee. Autumn is they're all volunteers, and she is our lead moderator. She sets the tone with some input from me because I want everybody to be happy and respectful, but take care of Autumn. She is hard at work to make sure this channel is a respectful and good one. And thank you for noticing, Texas Surfer. Couple more before we go. Do you think Stefan Sterns' parents have a hard time accepting their son could have done these crimes to a young child? Yeah, I think it'd be natural to accept that. That'd be real tough. I mean, would you be able to accept that right out of the gate? I don't know. I mean, I think they had a lot of issues with Mr. Sterns over the years. Still, this crime is so beyond the pale. I bet it was tough. You can just post the stream link to Patreon, but I'm not sure. I don't think YouTube will let you watch it without being a member, though. That's the thing. I will do my best. I get so into some cases, says Kristen, especially ones like this that I relate to so much. From the lens of curiosity and true hope that there's justice for Maddie, I wish there was a way to get access to the file. You can join my Patreon, Patreon page, or you can go to gavinfish.com. Yeah, either way, the case file, which is copious, let me bring it back over here, is mostly available on my website. Like so much of it, beyond like all the audio files. Man, it's taken a long time to load, but all of the PDFs, and I've got a lot more, all of the crime scene photos, the whole shebang. So yeah, if you're into the case files, Kristen Piston, gavinfish.com is the place to go. And I appreciate it. Let's see if there's anything else. And we're 8 minutes from starting the next one. So we're going to wrap it up. Let's bring up Maddie's little photo here. For the rest of the week, I think I've got enough content that we probably will circle back to Stefan Sterns again, because a whole bunch of files were made public from the Osceola court. Lots of responses from the prosecution, something like 45, 50 responses. So we've got a lot that we can go over on this case, and this case is super important to all of us, so we probably will do that. Tomorrow, though, remember that we are going to be going over and taking a look at the Lily and Jack Sullivan case. There's just so much going on that I missed while I was gone. So we're going to be catching up on that case. I wanted to thank you guys. We're at 129,537 subscribers to the channel right now, which just blows my mind. And once again, thank you for your support of the channel. It has been amazing. In fact, without the channel, I would not have been able to go to London to present at CrimeCon UK. I would not have been able to take a few days off with my wife, especially in Portugal. There's no way that we could do that, you guys. Have really made my life a rich and wonderful one just by watching the videos, commenting, liking, sharing, and then obviously your other support is just so crazy amazing. So I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for everything you do. For those of you who are members of the channel, I know we've got a few new ones. If you stick around, here in about 6 minutes, we will start back up again. Just a little chat. We're just going to be chit-chatting about CrimeCon UK in Porto. So with that, I bid the rest of you adieu, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.